everyone. As Laura was mentioning, my name is Michelle Grant. I'm the head of retailing at Euromonitor International. Euromonitor is a global market research firm, and we cover 35 different industries and services. So the great advantage of that broad coverage is we're able to see how other industries impact each other. And what we do cover is appliances. So I've been working with our appliances team to really understand how the connectivity of appliances may or may not impact retailing, which is what we're going to talk about today. And before I dive in with my interview with Charis from GlobalLogic, I'm going to kind of give you an overview of the state of the industry in connected appliances. Whew, that was long-winded. I apologize. Let's get to market sizes. So what we're looking at here is a chart of the kitchen appliances sold that have connectivity. Our definition of connectivity means that these devices can talk to each other or a different device, like a mobile phone. Within these devices, these connected devices, some are smart, right? And smart means that they are able to do functions like energy management, auto order replenishment without human intervention. We don't track the data to that level, so I can't give you the specifics on how many of these are smart, but I can tell you that in 2018, 12 million kitchen devices were connected and sold to consumers. So this also excludes B2B sales, so any sort of developer buying appliances for their residential developments are excluded. And you can tell by the data, the #1 kitchen appliance is sold in 2018 with connectivity is a fridge freezer. I don't know if you've been around the booth today, but Samsung, LG, Whirlpool are all displaying their connected appliances, and many of them are smart fridge freezers with a screen on the front that allows people to view their food inside. It offers recipe recommendations, and again, enables food or grocery ordering from the device itself. So when we look into the future of these devices, we expect the number of connected appliances globally to double in sales. So again, this doesn't address the installation base, right? So this just means that in 2023, 25 million new appliances will be sold to consumers. So again, as time goes on and these appliances get sold and the replacement cycles are years long, the installation base will continue to grow, as well as a new market, or as well as new product sales. And again, we still see that most of the connectivity will be the fridge freezer. So with that, I'm going to talk with Charis about the Internet of Things and how these connected devices might impact retail. Why don't you start us off with an introduction to who you are and what GlobalLogic is?
Okay. First, thank you for inviting me and our company here. Thanks everybody for attending this. So I'm Charis Christopolous. I'm CTO at GlobalLogic, who is a product engineering company. We're about 12,000 engineers globally around the world. One of our biggest businesses is actually retail and e-commerce, among our telecom, media, and healthcare business. We have big customers in the retail business, making basically the retail digitalization for physical.
I guess we can move this forward a bit. There we go.
For the physical and the digital, or e-commerce sites, including big pharmaceutical, and retail is one of the biggest in the world that you probably utilize every day. And so we're happy to share our experience and our views here.
Excellent, yeah, and you've been in the business for quite some time. And when we spoke beforehand, you mentioned that connecting devices isn't new. This has been happening since when? The early 2000s?
Yeah, I would say, when I was working in my former company, around year 2000, we started basically seeing consumer electronics being connected. I'm not talking about phones, and I'm not holding the phone because I like holding the phone. There is a reason for this. But I remember actually at that moment, Electrolux came with a fridge. with a screen, and it was connected to the internet. It was more of a prototype. It was not really, something that ended up in the year 2000, commercial. But the vision was already there from the industry that actually your fridge will become, the center of your smart home. It was not called smart home at that moment, but I would say, it's the same thing that we have now. And of course, maybe it was a bit too early at that moment.
So what's different now in 2018?
Big difference. I would say it's a big difference. So let's start what was not there in the year 2000. I think we had the connectivity there. But you all recall, before we even go to the fridge, that the type of phones that we had were far from being anything smart, really. Okay, it was just the beginning, of what we call the era of mobile, and things changed somewhere in the year 2007 when Apple came actually with the iPhone, and then later Android came up, and then suddenly we got all these smart devices. And now how does this connect it with our consumer, devices and fridges and so on? Well, now we have basically everything. We have the devices, we have the connectivity. This is the granted part, and the connectivity becomes even better. And we have actually our speaker from Verizon who will tell us a bit more about this later. But we have even more. We have the application environment. We have the usability. We have the user interface, where the ease of use. We have the payment solutions. We have the application development. We have the cloud solutions. On top of this, we have built analytics and artificial intelligence. We know what you want, actually. We can actually personalize, what offers we're going to give to you. So it's everything there from the technology. So it's not anything strange now that what we have here, which is our main kind of shopping these days, is actually moving to the refrigerators that you saw there. So I would say now, it's all there from a technology point of view. It's already used, and people are familiar on that one. What remains to be done is how to build the whole ecosystem inside the home, so all these devices are connected and speaking to themselves, and they provide the same user experience that I expect. For example, with my mobile phone, I can get it to the refrigerator, or I can get outside in the physical store.
And so yeah, all these pieces are coming together, and there are many players looking to build that ecosystem to sort of solve that problem of interoperability. We saw Whirlpool, Samsung that I mentioned, but Amazon also has a room dedicated to all of the devices that integrate with Alexa and the Amazon Dash replenishment service over in the Venetian. If you want to check that out, I found it fascinating. So you kind of have this battle going on between the tech companies and the manufacturers themselves to win over the smart home. Who do you think will win that battle, and why?
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting question. Let's start first of all on that battle. I was actually amazed when Amazon came out with a microwave.
Yes.
The $50, $60 microwave that I can actually defrost my food automatically without thinking. Is it 30 seconds? Is it 1 minute? Just put it there and it's done. And then you tell Alexa, please defrost it or cook my food there. So this is actually showing something that I was not personally expecting, that Amazon will start getting into that, home environment, a home appliance. Now we have, of course, the Samsung that came with, their smart refrigerator, which is like a connected hub, a smart hub where everything can go through the refrigerator there. And you have all the other, basically, companies that are doing, similar thing. Then you have Microsoft with smart assistants. Then you have Google. Then you have, of course, the Alexa. Samsung has their own. So everybody is trying to get, a pie. My personal view is that the winner will be the one or the ones that will think from a consumer.
Okay.
I think the industry has tried many times, to drive things from a technology, and I think the technology is an enabler. And you need the technology. At the same time, we have to think, how is the user shopping now? And if you can't really think from the consumer, I think that will become a technology. And we heard some other speakers also before talking about personalization. I also think the ones that are actually sitting on, not necessarily sitting, because using that phrase today is not good, saying sitting on your data is not actually what I'm trying to say, but the ones that actually know your preferences are the ones that are also going to provide some personalization to you. So you will get really what you're actually looking for, and you will get the promotions that you're looking for, you will get the preference that you're looking for. So to answer your question, is it the manufacturers of the appliances? Is it the Amazons? Is it the Googles? I would tend to say I believe that the user experience will be driven from the Amazon type of companies. And they will need all the appliances, basically, to support that one. That is my personal view. I think it will be very, very hard for the manufacturer of appliances actually to drive that. Having said that one, we have a few manufacturers like Samsung, for example, who drives Android and drives the whole home. And they're probably going to be very successful, and the similar ones.
Mm-hmm. So any sort of either pure tech company or even a hybrid like Samsung, because of all of their experiences in the phone and technology and their own personal assistants, there is sort of a fighting chance up against kind of a juggernaut of Amazon and Google.
But don't forget also that me as a user, I'm not going to lock myself to one device. Mm-hmm. We probably going to buy a Samsung refrigerator, but maybe my microwave is not a Samsung. So eventually you will need these ones to talk to each other. So again, that's why I'm saying you need to start thinking how is the user experience going to be impacted, because you need to understand that the home is one place where I'm doing shopping. Mm. I'm doing shopping on the move. I will be doing shopping from my car. I still do physical shopping. So that's why you have to think, how is the shopping going to evolve? And if you lock the shopping on a specific device, on a specific operating system, on a specific assistant, maybe that's not going to be really, the way to go forward.
Mm-hmm. It's not the best experience for the consumer.
That's what I believe. Mm-hmm. But of course, the industry will find its way. And again, thinking from a user point of view, not from the technology that you have. Mm-hmm. The technology is the enabler. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of users, we saw, obviously we're optimistic about the amount of connected appliances that are going to be sold, but do you think that consumers are really ready to embrace shopping from these appliances either now or in the future?
Well, we do shopping from this appliance.
True.
Okay, so yes, I actually believe that one. That goes again to what is the value that you give to me. Mm-hmm. I personally use an example for myself. I do a lot of shopping through Amazon. Mm-hmm. I find it the easiest one. They know what I've shopped. I just say swipe, done. And then I go, and I know it will be delivered the next day. So I'm already doing that one. Mm-hmm. Now, I think your question is more, if I understand well, will I allow Amazon to do it for me? Will I allow the fridge to do it for me? Mm-hmm. Instead of me saying, I want milk or something. So my personal view, it will start always with the user at this moment. Can you order milk, for tomorrow? And until this in the background is thinking, okay, so this guy is ordering milk every day, maybe I should say, now I see that there's no milk in the fridge. Would you want me to order that one? I'll probably say yes 2-3 times. And then there will be a next question, do you want me to order automatically without asking you next time? Mm. It will not happen for everything. It will not happen for my dinner, every day. But basic things, I believe, will happen. And when I start seeing the value of this, I will just let my assistant to do it, my virtual assistant. So I believe the users are ready to embrace that one. Mm. And they are actually embracing it already. Mm. And we will see more and more of these things happen. But also, that's also why I believe the winners, they will be the ones that are actually collecting data about me and understand my preferences. Or else it will be very difficult to do something about me, right, if you don't really know, my habits and my preferences.
Mm. That you prefer the Tide Pods for your laundry machine as opposed to,
yes, that's another thing. And I prefer that this is ordered automatically because I always forget to buy it.
Right. Yeah. I'm ready for the smart home.
I'm sure you are.
Especially when it comes to dish detergent and laundry care. I always seem to realize that I'm out when it's too late or and then I have to run
You're
to the
not
store.
alone.
Okay,
You're
good.
not alone.
I'm glad.
So we found the use case already.
Oh yeah, no, I'm super excited. And with that, we have to end the session. Thank you very much for your insights.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thank you very much. And
Thank
any
you.
questions, please start with a break.